So this should be interesting. This is the Aero guitar, or Aeroband Guitar, I guess is the proper name of it. So, this should be an interesting video. This is the Aeroband Guitar. I wanted to start this way so I can show you guys how easily this can be put together. The carrying case, I'll put it up on the screen, that you can get with this is really cool, very compact. The guitar is not very heavy at all, and this is how easily you put it together. It just clicks into place, and there you go. And there you have it, the guitar is together. Let me start by going over the guitar and what it is. This is, starting with the obvious. It's not a normal guitar. This is more of a MIDI guitar than anything else. I say more of a MIDI guitar because it's not only a MIDI guitar. It has a speaker built into it so you can play acoustically. It has a battery pack that you charge internally. On the side here we have a volume knob and power, tone, and accompaniment. Not tone, sorry. This is the accompaniment button and the volume for that. Down the side are LED lights that when I turn this on, which I'll do now. You get this little ring. At the top, there's 3 buttons. This one is for capo to go up, to pitch up the frets, to change the pitch. And the bottom one is to lower the pitch. So if you want to, go down half step, whole step, you can do that. And the button in the center is for the tone. So that's it on the guitar. That's basically everything. The strings are right here. There's a mute sensor that I will go over in length, but let me plug this in first so that I can record. So now that I'm all plugged in, so let me go over the things that I don't like about this guitar first, because I think that's, I can't go through the rest of this demo without touching on that, because they're some pretty key things. One of them is how sensitive these strings are. For just playing chords, they seem to work fine. I'm not going to use a pick, I'm just going to use my fingers for now. So no problem at all with chords. Where I find the problem is, especially when I use a pick, when I start going up scales. Do you hear all those extra notes that I'm getting? It's because you're just barely touching the other strings and they're so sensitive, or maybe I'm an idiot and I just don't know how to use this guitar. If there's a setting somewhere to turn that off, I'll get to the app in a minute because the app is fantastic. But if there's a setting to reduce the sensitivity of these strings, that could actually solve it. In fact, all the things that I don't like about this guitar, I think they could actually solve through a firmware update, because I don't think it's that difficult to fix. But the issues that I do have, they're such big issues that it really does turn it into a nightmare for someone like me who's been playing for his whole life. So again, when I'm going, especially the faster I play, the more this is noticeable. either it doesn't pick up the notes, because that'll get into my next thing that I don't like about this guitar is two things. You can't hammer on to nothing. So on a guitar, if you did this, you'd get a note, right? And guitarists do that as they're going down scales, like that little riff there. I don't usually pick that note on a lot of riffs that I do. Sometimes I do, but not all the time. And if you don't, you don't get a note. It does do hammer-on, so you can do that. And you can do them fast. But you can see how it diminishes over time, like it's trying to replicate like a string ringing. Where it doesn't make sense, as every guitarist knows, when you're pulling off, if you're pulling off properly, you're actually pulling the string, you're hitting it. And that would keep that sustain going forever. Like nothing would stop you from playing that riff forever. It wouldn't, then the notes wouldn't diminish, is what I'm trying to get to. Which is, again, the next big thing. You can't pull off to open strings, and you can't tap a string to get a note. It is recognizing that you're playing. You can see the LEDs on the side that immediately show where I'm playing, and it's super responsive. I mean, lightning fast recognizes where I'm playing, but the fact that where it's most noticeable are things like the pentatonic scale down here. You know, if you play it, you know, an E minor pentatonic right here, I would normally just pull off that string to an open E. But with the way this is, you have to pick every single note. So it's just frustrating. Again, maybe there's some setting for that. There was a setting that I turned on that allows you to do hammer-ons. So by default, this was not turned on, and I had to use the app for that to allow that. And it gets even worse without that on. So like, it's almost impossible to use this guitar without it. I assume they did that to mitigate some of the noise, because like I said, my biggest complaint with this guitar is there's so much additional noise. My next gripe problem is the mute sensor. It's a pro and a con. The pro is they did such a great job of putting it in a position that feels so natural when you're playing. Right? That's the pro. It's fantastic. The con is this could be a me thing, but I don't think so. I think most veteran electric guitarists, specifically guitarists that use distortion, you all know that when you distort a signal from a guitar, the more you distort it, the more noisy the strings become. So over years, you start developing these techniques and strategies to keep the strings quiet. One of them, you ever see a guitarist make some weird, shape like this with their hand, and they're just holding like this note? It's because they're using this finger to keep the rest of the strings quiet. And we do the same thing with muting. So when I'm playing fast runs, I'll use my wrist, my palm almost, to keep the rest of the strings that I'm not playing yet quiet. But if you do that, it mutes all of them, even the strings the sensor's not covering. So it forces you into this weird, like, bridged style of playing that is not comfortable for me. It's not how I play. And that's why it's such a negative, because this guitar is not going to be successful for veteran guitarists. They're not going to change the way they play just to play one guitar, is my point. For a new guitarist, for a beginner guitarist, this might be a cool guitar to help them learn and play outside and do all the things that it can do. But to veteran guitarists that already have developed their own way to play, they're going to get frustrated quickly having to adapt their play style for this guitar specifically. Playing with your fingers is not as big of a problem. But you can still say I'm missing notes in there from the other issues. Anyway, those are the things I don't like about this guitar. The things that I do like about this guitar, the sounds, which I'll go through in a minute, are actually really good. This acoustic sound is not bad at all. Sounds really good. Okay, the next thing that I love is the app. This application is fantastic. It has 4 sections. I'll show you on the screen here. You can pause the video if you want to check it out. The first is guitar. The second is songs. I'll go to that. And the library is massive. The next are tutorials, which have great learning lessons in there. And the last is your profile that you can go through. I'm going to keep it on the guitar so that I can show you guys this in real time. You can see that as soon as I touch the neck, it's registering immediately where I'm playing. And like, I'm completely blown away with how fast it's recognizing what you're doing on the guitar. I can't say enough about the app. I think the app is really, really strong. And that's why I'm kind of encouraged that the problems that I have with this guitar, I think they really could fix with a firmware update. But anyway, that's the app. The next thing I really like about it is how easy everything was to use with this guitar. To set up the application, I bet you I'm not even exaggerating. I bet you it took 20 seconds to log in, make an account, do all that. It was lightning fast. I use Logic to record. I plugged this in, which I'll do in a second, to use it as a MIDI controller to show you guys. Again, I didn't have to download drivers, do anything additional. I plugged this into my Mac and it immediately registered everything. It was fantastic. The same was true with the cord. I have this plugged into my interface right now. Again, nothing fancy, didn't do anything. And it's immediately recognizing everything. So there's an awful lot of value in these other areas of this guitar. But anyway, let's go through the sounds because I'm sure that's what you guys are excited to hear. Obviously, the first is the acoustic. I didn't mention this yet. You cannot obviously bend the strings. The strings are these nylon, I guess you could call them strings, but they're literally part of the neck. You cannot do anything with them to give that sensation. What I don't understand is why they didn't add some sensor to, I just feel that would be very easy to do, is to apply a sensor that would recognize when you're pulling the string or pushing it, but who knows. Anyway, that's the acoustic guitar. Next is an acoustic pick, so it actually changes the sound. So if you're playing with your fingers, it sounds like you're picking. This is electric country. The next is electric pop. actually illustrating, that's showcasing another problem with this guitar. So with a chord shape like this, I'm using my thumb. On a normal guitar, I'd use my thumb to grab this note, but it's also silencing the A string, so I'm not getting noise from that. But it doesn't have strings, so it doesn't know that I'm doing that, and it's playing that note, which is now not in that chord, so it sounds terrible. So that's what I mean by like having to adapt the way you're playing. Like, that's not going to fly well with guitars. So the next is a classical guitar. So another example, I would normally pull off there, but you have to play. You can understand my frustration. Okay, this one's really cool. This is the piano. So let me just play like a classical, like a... It's really cool. On a piano, obviously you can't bend piano keys, so like when you go up the strings, it's like you're going up the keyboard. It's cool. But they also added the mute thing, which gets weird because again, you can't mute a piano, or at least a normal piano. I know you could technically, if you opened up a grand, you can actually mute the strings with your hand, but nobody does that. Cool. The next one is bass, so check this out. Very cool. You can play with the pick, obviously. Pretty cool. That's all I got. Not a banjo player. The clavinet, that's interesting. The clavinet is a type of piano. It's like almost like a harpsichord, but I don't know why they put that in there. But it works the same as a piano, so like you can bend. It's kind of cool. now we're back to acoustic. So the next really cool thing is, let me turn the volume down. You can plug this in directly to your computer. So if I were to stop recording this, and I'm going to plug this in first. And then I'm going to add a new audio track, but I want to use a software MIDI instrument. Okay, so now it's recording that. I'm on a classic electric piano right now. I'm just going to do a quick recording of some strings so you guys can see this. Obviously, I don't want this to turn into a demonstration on Logic. I use Logic to record, but this can be used as a MIDI controller for any sound that I select that's already in my DAW. A DAW is the... So I just selected violin so you guys can... They are touch sensitive, so the lighter you play, or the harder you play, it does pick that up. It's very cool. Very neat. So that's about it for this guitar, guys. If I had to give my summary of this, the way this guitar is right now, I would strongly encourage beginners to check this out. I think with the app, which again, I think is fantastic. I think the app and the lessons that are built into it are fantastic, and beginners could get a lot of value out of it. I don't see advanced players, with the way this guitar is right now, wanting to play it. It's just too difficult to adapt your playing around these issues. Once they get this fixed, maybe, because again, there's so many other things that I think are fantastic about this guitar. All the things I talked about, how quickly it syncs with the app, how user friendly it is, man. I just can't get over how everything I tried to do with this guitar did effortlessly. I, plugged into the MIDI, recognized it right away, plugged into my interface, no issues recording with it at all. It's really a powerful tool in that regard. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to pick one of these up, I will have a link to it in the description. They're available on Amazon and most music stores, so go check them out. Until next time, keep rocking, guys.